So, very briefly, I think this slide is a very powerful slide in terms of data, which demonstrates the where we are and what we need to do in this case. Say, for example, the software export. If you see the first slide here, the software export revenue for 2008 and 9 for India is almost $60 billion. In Philippines, almost $1 billion. And if you compare Bangladesh software export revenue 2008 and 9 is $32 billion. And I don't want to discuss a little more, what were the factors involved for a highly successful software export from India versus, Philippines and Bangladesh. I think we have data for Sri Lanka as well. So Sri Lanka, I think I see based on the data Rahul provided this morning, that around $150 to $200 million range for 2011. So this is really a very shocking news for Bangladesh. I know we cannot, compete with India, but at least what we need to do to compete with at least Philippines or Sri Lanka or some other neighboring countries, right? So this is the key point. So this gives you really a fact, a very strong fact, where we are in terms of IT opportunities. There are plenty of opportunities in Bangladesh. I think Dr. Untitled Chapter will highlight some of that. But please keep in mind that this is the situation today we have. We have opportunities. We have partial support, I believe, from the government. We have resources, right? But still we are there. So what is a step that we need to do, or at least show the government and private sector? Yes, this is a proposal. If we jump on it, we might move from at least this situation to at least $200 billion range. I think this should be a target right now. If we miss this target to come up around $200–300 million target, then really we have to lose all these potential opportunities in the competition of the world. So by saying so, I really invite Dr. Untitled Chapter to start with main keynote speaker presentations, and we have a panelist. They will support all the questions if we have. Thank you.
First of all, thank you very much for attending this seminar. Thank you, Mohammed, for introducing me. Thank you, the panelists, Mr. Dalal, Ed Shokter, Chaudhary, Marfia. Thank you very much. Let me talk about the situation where we are in outsourcing today. I'm going to be speaking from here. So my focus of the presentation is going to be the total outsourcing market in the world. Who are the top players from various countries, including United States, India, China, other emerging countries? What Bangladesh has to offer in this global economy in IT? Why Bangladesh is losing? We are losing something. I'm going to tell you what we're losing. And what should we do? And I'm proposing a joint venture framework that I believe is going to help us achieve our goal for Bangladesh in IT. And I'm going to talk about the results of this framework, and then we can talk about the questions from the audience. My background, I'm a software engineer. I worked for 15 years for Fortune 500 companies, from Single Wireless, AT&T, Delta Airlines. And I started a software company in 1998 in Bangladesh. Back it didn't grow that much. In 2003, I founded a company in Georgia called MI3 Holdings. And in 2010, I founded a company in FreePay, which is a mobile software product we just launched in the US. And we are outsourcing in Bangladesh. We have about 30 people right now with one company. And another company is doing some work, 10 resources. So I have a lot of experience. I was doing outsourcing for quite some time, 8 years. Then I founded 3BP, which is an innovative product. And I know very much what's going on in Bangladesh. The top IT companies, I work with them directly. I was a speaker in BASIS, which is Bangladesh Association of Software Information Services, in 2002, and today is 2012. The goal BASIS has set in 2002 for $2 billion outsourcing for Bangladesh by 2006, and today is 2012. We're making, as Mr. Ahmed showed us, 30 billion. That's pretty much really nothing compared to even a small company in India makes more than that. So what's lacking? That's what we're going to talk about. And I want all of your thought process, and hopefully we can go somewhere to help our country. So the outsourcing market, as you can see, is $1.3 trillion globally. Globally, $1.3 trillion. What is outsourcing? Outsourcing is basically that a company doesn't want to do their IT work by themselves, and they give it to some other contractor company to do the work. Because Bank of America, it doesn't make sense. They are good at banking, they're not good in IT, so they may hire somebody that is good in IT. And a lot of that is happening in India because India has a lot of talents, a lot of people that can do this work, and they have taken the market, they're in the lead, and they're next to us, so we can follow their footsteps, and we can grow because we also have a lot of people, 160 million people in Bangladesh. So who are the top competitors? Top competitors are Wipro, Infosys, Tech Mahindra, Tata Consultancy, Accenture. The fascinating thing is, just 5 years ago, IBM, EDS, Capgemini, those are the guys who are the top in the pyramid in outsourcing. But just in 5 years, the smart companies from India, like Wipro and Infosys, they have taken the market. And now Wipro is all over the United States. I lived in Atlanta. I just saw in the last 5 years how they grow. They are now advertising in the radio in the morning, in the TV. They are working with the local people in the local community in Georgia, and they have grown. Every state they have offices. 50 states they have offices. And they are marketing. They are working with the business community, the American mainstream business, helping them to do the IT. Infosys is another company, same thing. Infosys started with 5 people with $80 in 1989. And now they are a $5 billion company. They're employing 120,000 people in India. Wipro also have 120,000, 125,000 people working for them. And these are the Tech Mahindra and Tata Consultancy, 5 top companies in India is employing majority of the human resources. And that's in India, 1.5 million people are working for outsourcing. Primarily US and some European clients. So what Bangladesh has? Well, we have good, we have bad, we have positive, we have negative. But I don't want to focus on the negative. If we talk about negative, think about negative, then it will be negative. We have to think positive. Especially people in North America, the NRCs group. We have to come up with an initiative. We are the one who knows the stuff, how business is done in the US. What is the standards? What's the quality? We know this stuff, so we have to take an initiative, and we need to transfer this initiative technologies to Bangladesh. There are people in Bangladesh trying to grow outsourcing, and there are success stories. It's happening by natural progression. There is no major initiative, but because of the natural flow, we have a lot of people. India is next to us, and emerging technology is growing. The mobile technology in Bangladesh. 7th largest mobile companies in Bangladesh. Grameen Phone. They have 35 million customers. China Telecom, China Mobile is the #1 mobile company, 140 million customers. Verizon here in the US has 80 million, then AT&T, and then T-Mobile. In that ranking, Grameenphone is second largest. They're doing operation 24/7. So when we talk about that Bangladesh don't have infrastructure, I say we do, because companies like Grameenphone keeps the light on 24/7. Companies like Bangladesh, companies like other server companies, they're keeping the lights on. So, and English speaking is another advantage, and we need that. We are better than many other companies like Middle East, for example. Their language, their pronunciation is very, very hard. And Bangladesh, we have, I would say, it's okay. And even right now, in these days, I'm pretty optimistic. I see young folks, they're speaking very well. They're kind of fluently. I have 30 people working in Bangladesh. Almost all of them speak fluently. I have no problem bringing them in the conference call with my American colleagues here. A lot of our employees are American here, and we communicate with daily basis. And we're pretty well. They can speak well, communicate everything well. Infrastructure, I would say it's okay infrastructure. And to really, I cannot just say, well, we don't have any infrastructure, so I'm not doing anything. No, you cannot do that, because it's egg and chicken. You have to take what it is today and kind of take an initiative to create an industry that can create other value initiatives. For example, case in point, when India data consultancy started in outsourcing in India, they could not buy a computer without the permission of the government. And look where we are today. We have tax-free, import-free, everything is government is trying to do. So we have to take the leverage of that. And government has, I told you this, tax initiatives, tax benefits they're providing, other benefits, equity partnerships they're providing. So some of them are there, you have to take the initiative. So Bangladesh is losing. Bangladesh is losing, I would say, $2 billion a year. Because if I take the number, the math that was given in basis, there was a well-thought-out plan in 2002, but it didn't meet the goal because of the lacking of the marketing, sales, and operations in the client place. Client place is where? Client is in America, in the US. And we don't have anybody from Bangladesh at post zero that are talking to this client. They're telling us, hey, look, come here, we can do this for you. And at the same time, we really don't have the capabilities also, the big company capabilities in Bangladesh. Because for a company like AT&T, I took GE in 2009 as a plan to grow Bangladesh, outsourcing several thousand people. That was my plan. I took GE, I convinced them, they saw just my idea and depended on me. Says, we're kind of value on you. And same thing we did when we went to India in 1990. We banked on somebody. We believed on somebody and we made it work, and now we are here. Now we have 40,000 people in India. So you seems like you are advocating this, blah, blah, blah. And I gave them the presentation. Yes, we can do it. We have 160 million people, positive, all these things. After working 2 years, they were agreed, and they went to Bangladesh. Marfia was there. She put together a team with technical office, and we signed a master agreement with GE. And I understand exactly what's there in their mind. They want to leverage the low-cost people. At the same time, they want reliability. They want the capacity. They want to keep the light on. They cannot keep the light off your IT. Doesn't work like that. Government, yes, you can reship a new product that was defect before, but IT, if light is on, that's it. Your history. For example, AT&T, when they offer a new iPhone version 5, and all the POS retail system in the US has to be turned on. If it's down for 1 minute, you are gone. You're going to be losing billions of dollars. So we need to understand that. So Bangladesh is losing because of why? Lack of big presence in the US. We do not have any presence. I spoke with AT&T, I spoke with GE, and everybody. I been talking to Gartner, the research company that provide research to the big companies, saying, where do you move? And the nice thing is the opportunity exists today, as was in 2009 when I went to Gartner seminar with GE. And Gartner was telling GE that you need to diversify your IT operation. You cannot put IT operation in one country, more than 90%. So GE had 90% IT operation in India. So the company strategy, they want to diversify portion of that to other countries. So they were looking for multiple countries, Vietnam, Brazil, Russia, and I built a position in Bangladesh. I compared those 4 countries. I said, look, let's go to Bangladesh. I can do it for you, and we can make it happen. And one of the scenario was that simple. There is no company in Bangladesh. Most of the companies are 10 people, 5 people, 20 people. And to feed somebody like GE or AT&T, you need companies that has 1,000 people. At 500 people, I said, look, I can grow 500 people in 6 months. And then I realized, yeah, there is a difficulties. Bangladesh has some difficulties in terms of HR policies. Most of the employees are under contract for 30 days. In here, it is 2 weeks. I can notice today and get out 2 weeks. In Bangladesh, some employer also give them strict binding. They make a contract in bonding that if you leave, your retirement will be gone, and they give 2 months of salary. So employee cannot switch very quickly. And working with big companies like AT&T or GE, those are the companies we need. Today, we're working for projects here and there. There are companies in Bangladesh getting some project from brothers in work, Sweet brothers working in some companies, they are outsourcing, word of mouth, something like very small project. Project is done, then you are out of work. And that's not going to work. You need sustainable long-term project. That is going to be year after year maintenance, running the IT operation for a bank, Bank of America, running IT operation for Citibank, running operation for Visa, MasterCard, things like that. So, and Bangladesh local market is okay, but I see some of the companies local, they are all dependent on big government projects. Governments like doing custom automation work for Channel 4, doing national ID card for the voter registration. Those are the few companies got the project, those are the companies a little bit of profitable. Other companies are kind of losing money and no big initiative. So, and then there is a lack of thought leadership. The leaders, they really have to understand the dynamics of the global IT, and especially the North American IT corporation, understand their mindset from the corporation's perspective, from the supply chain, how they buy, what's their decision-making process, and what are the factors that is important for the selection of a vendor, selection of a country, and then thought leader can come from Bangladesh and speak to the audience and prove that we understand the dynamics, we understand the goals and objectives of your company. It could be a cost-cutting objective, it could be performance improvement, so many varieties of things that corporation makes, considers for any kind of decision of selecting a country for outsourcing. So we need leaders, thought leaders, who understand these things so that they can sell it to these corporate clients with the proper value proposition. So that was the reasons why Bangladesh is losing, and what now I'm going to talk about what should we do. I talked about the opportunity. I talked about the problems that we have in our industry, and what should we do. So I thought about it should be a realistic plan, because creating a plan with lots of points in it and not knowing how to execute this plan, it's not going to work. I read the IT policy of Bangladesh, written by Professor Jamilur Raja. He's a very knowledgeable person. He wrote it, but the reality is that there is a lot of flaw because the plan is very big. There are a lot of things to be done, a lot of improvements needs to be made. But where do you start? Where do you start? Who is your focus? And who is going to be paying for that? That's why a lot of things get stuck in Bangladesh. That you create a big, massive plan. The IT policy is 600 points. And I read some of that. I read it end to end and see, my goodness, each point requires lots of funding, lots of resources to execute that. And it's mind-blowing. You get headache, like, where do you start? Which one? Are you going to put, computers in all the, elementary schools? How are you going to train the teachers? Who's going to train the teachers? Do they have enough experience? All kinds of stuff. And then government has other issues, political issues, economical and social issues. So it gets kind of overlooked. And that's why we're kind of, and that's why I'm saying, like, let's focus on one plan that can be achievable. The plan that Malaysia made. Malaysia made a private plan. They funded a company owned by Malaysian government and a private company, and they created the high-tech park that is in Malaysia, in Putrajaya. I went there, I saw that how beautiful the plan is. And after 10 years, in that plan, they have 65,000 people, employees, working for outsourcing US big clients, HP, IBM, all the companies are in Putrajaya in Malaysia. And they have filed 2,500 patents from that high-tech park. 2,500 patents means ideas, new ideas for innovation and IT. So, with my background in IT outsourcing and working with the Bangladesh Software Association, I believe we need a company that's going to sell it in the US, that's going to work with some companies in Bangladesh, collaboration, and making sure that they can deliver those products and services to these clients that we're not saying. So that's a joint venture. I think a joint venture framework we should do. We should take basis as a stakeholder in this joint venture. Basis can take certain companies from Bangladesh that has skill sets in different verticals. It could be telecom, it could be financials, it could be other sectors, energy, whatever, and come up with a company in the US and merge with that, and that could be the beginning. And that companies can be funded by the government. Government can provide some seed capital. Because right now we can say, okay, government cannot put money, and I spoke with some of the government. Government is kind of reluctant because government thinks like, what is the accountability? If I sign this thing, am I going to go to jail next time? Somebody can say, why did you do this? A lot of these are kind of bureaucracy and the procedure and culture of Bangladesh is nobody really has the board and integrity that can make the decision, saying, I'm doing it because I think it's going to work. Bangladesh, we're spending millions of dollars every day for buying somebody rice, giving somebody this, go give it to the God wheat in all the people in the country. Go build this bridge that does not work. So we're spending millions of dollars. It's citizens' money. Why don't you put the citizen money for some investment that's going to grow big time? But the leaders in Bangladesh, they don't have the guts, they don't have that capability. They are like scared, saying, okay, Simon, if I listen to your plan and sign this off, the next time some other government is going to come in and say, what's your interest? Because everything is go by interest in Bangladesh. Nothing gets by the citizen interest, it gets by personal interest. Everybody talks about this for citizens. I don't think so. Nobody give a damn about 160 million people. They care about their own good. Is my brother involved here? I'm going to sign this project. Is my nephew involved? This is the nepotism in our community, in the culture. I said, for God's sake, why don't you take a good one initiative that's going to really provide a high-tech industry and make a lot of work for this, not for going to the Middle East, doing this, sweeping the streets, a hard job, but in a high end. Our people in Bangladesh, they're capable. I'm so impressed with their work. I was graduated here from all the way, bachelor's, master's, PhD. But these guys, even with the bachelor's in Bangladesh, I cannot do like that in programming. They're so brilliant. They're so brilliant. And they're working for this PPP project that we're doing. It's a very complex product. So the number of companies in the US right now, we're talking, they're so impressed. Companies like Costco, companies like American Express, they have a lot of money and say, look, you guys did this very complex. It's mapping the location of people, it's geocode, it's map, it's mobile technology, all of that. So these guys can do it. We can train other people like that. So we have people, but we don't have process, we don't have initiatives, we don't have the leadership. So my proposal is to set up a joint venture with private companies in Bangladesh and the US, find a partner in the US that has the desire, that has the passion to do do for Bangladesh, because this is very important. The partner in US and the partner in Bangladesh. Both has to be bonding, and they need to work together. Like US part would be sell, customer management, and product acquisitions. And the Bangladesh would be delivery and execution. Working this framework, and this company has said, if government provides $10 million seed capital, with that seed capital, $1 million will be invested in Bangladesh to get a 20,000 square feet office space, hire some people resource for get-go, so who can take some of these projects, initiatives that will be sent. And the $9 million will be invested in the US for several, 3-year plan, $3 million budget in each year. And that can generate, in my estimate, $100 million worth of business in 2 years. So this is a pure math, because in Bangladesh you say I'm going to make $2 billion and you don't spend $2. That's not going to happen. I mean, this is nothing magic that people is going to come and hand you the job. Because I know